Hello and welcome. Today we're going to go ahead and take a look at the Nova Hauler. So my Hauler line of ships are extraordinarily simple. They need to carry as much cargo as possible while still being a Class A ship and requiring 0 ranks of Starship design. Whatever I can get, that's what we go with. This particular one is built entirely using Nova Galactic parts, and you can put it all together from the Nova Galactic ship technician here on New Homestead. I am making use of the ship flip glitch on this ship. However, uh, you don't necessarily have to if you don't care to. Just use it for some aesthetic purposes. Beyond that, the only other requirements that I have for the hauler line of ships is it has to have a cargo hold hab, and then it has to have at least one bed and a bathroom. So let's go ahead and start with the interior tour. Alright, so we immediately enter into the Nova Galactic 2x3 all-in-one berth. Or not all-in-one, cargo hold hab. Coming back from the lander, we enter into the 3x1 engineering bay. And you can see right here is also where our docker is. So if we dock in space, we enter here, otherwise we're entering right here. Ignore that extraneous ladder because the game insists on putting it there, but we do not need it. Because we have the Cabot Bridge with its lovely stairs coming up here. And then we come back in here into the Nova Galactic all-in-one berth A, which we can clearly enter without needing to use this ladder at all. We have our one bed right here, a small little galley that we can cook at, a table to eat at, a bathroom, just, don't fall down the ladder, a navigation console, and finally a research station in case we ever need that. And that is the interior of the ship. Go ahead and step out and take a look at how it's built. I'm gonna wander on over here.
Need some work done? Okay, no problem.
Go into the ship builder. And I'm going to grab my paint scheme really quick. And now that I've done that, select everything and delete it. Alright, so as usual, we're going to go ahead and start with the landing bay. And then we're going to grab the Nova Galactic 2x3. It wants to put it over that corner for some reason, so we're just going to slide it over one. On the front of this, we are going to go ahead and grab the cockpit, which is the Cabot C3 bridge. Then we're going to come back on over here to the habs, and we're going to grab the Nova Galactic 3x1 engineering bay off the back of the cargo hold. And then off the back of the upper portion of the cockpit, we are going to grab the all-in-one berth A. Note that if you grab the all-in-one berth B, yes, you do get 3 beds, but you do not have a galley in this. And the bathroom is lost because of it's located by the front entrance, and if you have a door leading forwards in this hab, you don't get the bathroom. So, berth A. Then right behind it, we're going to come on over here to the dockers and grab the NG2 docker because that's the only one that's available to us. Now, coming to the bottom of the ship, we're going to come over here and we're going to add our reactor and grav drive. So for this ship, I'm using the 134mm. We could use the 360T Stellarator, however, this does have slightly more mass, And we're trying to save as much mass as possible so that way we can use all of it on our cargo. For a similar reason, we're going to come on over here to the grav drives and grab the Helios 300 grav drive. And then we're going to start adding structural elements because, we want it to look cooler, and I guess we're more willing to give up mass for coolness than for, basically identical reactors. Let's come on over to the structural and grab the Nova cowling. And we're actually going to slide that forward one. And just like that. Then, on the back here, we are going to go ahead and grab the Nova cowling. This variant. And then we're going to copy it and do the middle variant. And in another completely extraneous waste of mass, we're going to clip that in over this just for appearance's sake. If you don't want to do that, that is entirely optional. Now, to start filling up the middle, we're going to go ahead and start by grabbing our landing gear. So for this ship, we cannot use the NG-20 because it requires Starship design. So we have to choose between the NG-15 and the NG-10s. I grabbed the NG-15 because I personally like the look of that one slightly more. However, you can grab NG-10s, but you might need more than just the 4 landing gear that I use in this build. Copy, not choose weapons to put on it. There we go. Alright, so now that those are all on, let's go ahead and slap our engines on. I have a pair of Ares DT-30s on each side of the cargo hold. And then on the back of this, I have an Ammon 3, because these are basically the best engines that we can get without Starship design. Next up, so we notice that this is at the very back of the landing, or of the engineering bay. Directly forward of it, we are going to grab our fuel tanks. Now for this ship, I used a pair of Titan 450 HE3s. You could use the 550s instead, but I would only do that if you go ahead and you replace the travesty that I did with flipping this in and soon flipping a bunch of components into here, because otherwise you're going to need to lose some cargo space. Speaking of flipping, let's get to that. Coming back on over to the structural tab, have the Nova cowling here. And then 2 more here. And this is what I said with the travesty going on here. It's because this gap, I do not like the look of. Now, I could go ahead and put, like, say, a 1x1 hab there. Or I could go ahead and do something like push this back and stick a companionway there or something like that. Just anything to go ahead and, fill that space. Or if I go multi-manufacturer, I can go ahead and grab the Deimos hull and just shove that right there. But rather than any of that, I grabbed 2 Nova cowlings and flipped them into place. And that kind of fills out that space. It uses a lot more mass for that than it really should, but that's what I decided to do. Alright, so that is all of that. I still need to add my shield, and I need to add my cargo. Let's come on over and take a look at the shields. I had the Marduk 1010A shield on this ship, and you can put this wherever you want. If you don't want to flip glitch it in place, you can just slap it on top right here. However, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put it right here at the back right here, and then just flip this into place over top of it. Now, let's go to cargo. So for this particular ship, I'm using a mixture of the Stormax 40 and the Stormax 50 cargo holds. And I will show you why in just a second. If I go with just the Stormax 50s, I've got 26 light years jump range. So, let me replace one with the Stormax 40. Let me replace two with a Stormax 40. Yay! And now we have 27 light years jump range. So after a good bit of fiddling, I have determined that the actual exact mass is going to be 927. So with this particular ship, I could actually go ahead and grab those 550 HE3 tanks. Well, one of them. But two of them puts me back over that 927 mass. So I could have one 450 and one 550, or I could just have two 450s. Again, noting what I did with the flipping on here, these are 8 mass each, and this is 3 mass. Whereas if I were to go ahead and grab a hab, just a storeroom right here, that's 5 mass. So 8 plus 8 plus 3 is 19. Somebody check my math. Versus 5, so I would save 14 mass by putting the hab there instead, but I get another extraneous ladder coming up. So it's kind of up to you on how you want to distribute that. But again, that mass number that we're looking for is 927. If we go to 928, our jump range is below the threshold. All that being said, the one thing that I haven't put on right now is going to be the weapons. And you can't go out into space in the Starfield universe without at least a couple of them. So for this ship, I went ahead and grabbed the Disruptor 3300As. You could also use the 3300s. It's, just whichever one you want. And I put a pair on there, and then a pair on there. And one of the ways that you can quickly find that mass cap is, let's say I went ahead and put on this. Okay. And then we're going to copy this, 928, and that's how when our jump range goes down. So that's how you can go ahead and figure out that exact point. Just keep adding things until, you hit it. So I have an error now, which is that I need to assign my weapons. Ta-da, I did so. The biggest change that you could make to this ship is if you get one rank of Starship Design, you can replace this grav drive, which gives you 23 grav jump thrust, with the Helios 400, which gives you 27 grav jump thrust. I haven't calculated exactly how much extra mass that can give you, but it is a noticeable amount. Another thing that you could do if you wanted more cargo and are willing to sacrifice mobility is you can remove engines, because this is 98 mass for this engine versus 68 mass for the cargo. So we could do something really simple like, say, get rid of these bottom pieces here, slap on 2 more cargos, and get rid of this engine. Just to demonstrate that really quick. Oh, we are at 9:31, so we'll just delete that as well. And now you can see we could go ahead and get extra cargo. In this case, an extra 640 cargo by deleting a couple components and most importantly, removing the engine. But now we have 6 mobility. So it's up to you to decide how much mobility you require out of your ship. Because we could also always go ahead and just delete these 2 engines and keep that single Ammon 3, which is enough to power you through space. And now we have freed up enough space for another cargo hold. And that pushes us all the way up to 3,000 cargo. Removing those pieces again. So by giving up that mobility, we get an extra 1,000 cargo. However, I promise you 30 mobility is noticeably better than 6. All that being said, let's go ahead and paint the ship now. And there we have it. That is the Nova Hauler. Let's take it out into space. And as usual, we'll just get a couple pictures. Ooh, that's a good one. There we go. And if you've watched this far, I'm going to start trying to do that whole YouTube thing of say, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you next time. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good day.